What is happening? It's a Nintendo Powercast episode 381. I'm your host, N64, Josh Crawler. What is up, dude?
Hey, how's it going? Crawler coming at you.
Johnny Bo, how are you, baby?
What's up? Sorry, I was looking at the titles in Splatoon 3, and there's one called Clock Puncher. And that is not a coincidence, all right? That is not a coincidence.
Cheesy,
so
what's up,
baby?
baby?
Be Peppy Clock Puncher. That's my title.
Hey, I like it.
What's going on, cheese curds? Johnny's always got to interrupt me, you know.
I guess so. Well, hey, before we get this thing started, you guys make sure if you want to hear the conclusion of every episode, head on over to patreon.com/Nintendo Powercast. And you can pledge a little cash, help support the show, and get some extra content that's not quite safe for work.
Well, you make it sound like we stop talking, like we wrap up the show. It's just
it's literally just an extension of this show.
It's the bonus features, if you will.
It's the DLC, the expansion pack.
Do people know what bonus features are anymore? Because that used to be on DVDs.
What's
DVD
a DVD?
Sales of
based on the demographic.
They have it on the digital
the
version, though.
They
sometimes, but not on streaming stuff. Unfortunately,
that's true.
Well, hey, jump into the Discord if you're planning on playing Splatoon this weekend. We got voice chat, all kinds of different voice chat, people to play with. If you're getting ready for
streaming
your
all day
Splatfest,
too, right?
There you go. Cheesy will be live all day long. I might even fire up my streams. Who knows?
Maybe
we'll see
on a brand new Switch.
If they come in stock.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. We need your help, you guys. If you aren't needing another Switch and you happen to see the Splatoon Switch, please pick it up, and one of the four of us will gladly pay you back for it. Okay?
I'll give you $5. I'll give you $5.
I'd say
message us first.
One of us.
Well, just keep your receipt in case you need to
They might
return
not
it.
even hear this in time because Josh won't put this out until next Thursday.
It'll be up tonight. Stop it. If you find one, keep the receipt so you can return it in case we all end up finding. But we are on a hunt. Okay, we are on a hunt. So, we're calling the community. Also, speaking of the community, you guys absolutely knocked it out of the park. We raised $350 in 2 days to get Lady of Legend a Switch because she went on a trip and hers got messed up, and so she's picking it up tomorrow. So I just want to say thanks to everybody that helped make that reality. So
she might be able to get a Splatoon one.
That's true. I want to say what's up to everybody in the chat. We're live on Twitch and YouTube right now. Welcome, everybody. So glad you guys are here. We have missed you, and we got a good show planned for you. Talking a lot of Splatoon 3. Before we do that, Crawler, where can people find you?
You guys can find me hanging out in the Discord. Also, also on Twitter and TikTok at Nightcrawler724. Nightcrawler is without the E.
Johnny, where can we find you?
Johnny Bo everywhere. Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Is that it? Twitter? Yeah, I said
Tinder.
Twitter. Yeah, Tinder.
Yeah. Cheesy, where can we find
Humble
you?
Bundle.
I saw him and I swiped left. I am CheezyC64, CheezyC64. You can find me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch. I am streaming the Splatfest 12 hours on Saturday on TikTok and Twitch.
And
Boom.
He's self-promoting in Splatoon 3 already.
I am, yeah. Why not?
There you go.
It's good. It's good. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm N64 Josh everywhere. I'm also until today banned everywhere. I had a new single come out a couple weeks ago. I'm uploading a new single tomorrow. I don't know when it will go. It'll go live on Apple Music and stuff almost immediately. Spotify takes a few days, but if you want to check out the music I'm playing, I just got a new guitar today. It's like my dream guitar. I cannot wait for you guys to hear more of the music that's going to be happening there. So, last thing, there's now I've decided to start a marketing and management agency. And so if you guys have a company that might need websites or SEO work or social media help, whatever, please hit me up. And if you're an influencer of some kind, content creator, and you want to get connected to businesses to do sponsored streams, sponsored content, that kind of thing, you can email me, josh@immortalprime.com. Immortal Prime Marketing and Management is the name of the company. So website coming soon. There we go. Let's talk about some Splatoon 3. We had a Treehouse Live today, not a direct, right? Treehouse Live. And I know Johnny couldn't have been more excited by all of the content that was shown, all the new modes, all the new weapons. His tweets were nothing but positive, joyous.
I don't think I'm ever not positive.
Well,
was that a double negative? I feel like
yeah.
I tried to phrase it in a way that you could take it either way, you know.
I just thought you were super tired watching it based on, your tweet.
So the thing I did not like about this is it wasn't for me. Like it wasn't for people that are experienced in the game. They showed off a lot of, here's how you swim, here's how you shoot. If you swim too fast, they'll see you. They showed off some weapons. I mean, they did show off some of the single player, which looked like more of single player. The one level, though, the bow level, the bow level, that looked really fun. That looked really cool. It looked challenging, and it was a little bit different than other single player levels. But I mean, it looks like it's following the same formula as 1 and 2.
I mean, so I'll admit, the marketing for Splatoon 3 has been really weird. But I understand it at the same time. I think that they are just trying to get an audience, especially in the States, to really just get excited about Splatoon 3 because they already know it's going to sell in Japan. And Splatoon 2 did better than what they thought it was going to do. It's sold over, how much is it sold? 14?
It's in the top 10.
It's
right?
close to 15. No, it's not in the top 10.
Yeah, it's got to be like 11 or 12, but it caught them by surprise, and I think that they're trying to do that with Splatoon 3. Does it help for people that have already played the Splatoon series? No. But at the same time,
we're already buying it anyway. They don't care about us. They know we're buying it.
That's true, but I do think that they are hiding a lot of secrets, and they're not telling us everything because they want those returning players to be surprised. I mean, if you look at the single player, it is more of Octo Expansion, and if you're familiar with Octo Expansion, that was a great mode, and we really haven't seen a lot of the story mode. There's been hands-on impressions that were released this week, and they weren't given they were given a kit of the game. So when they did story mode, they weren't given cutscenes or context as to why they are in this world or what's going on, and so that could add to the experience.
Interesting. For me, single player with Splatoon, I'm out. It does nothing for me.
I've tried it. I want to do it to be able to get you get the
hero gear
weapons. Yeah, the hero gear, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, but don't you have to do it 10 times or something?
You have to get the weapon don't you have to beat it with all the weapons or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting because the first 2 story modes, you did have to beat it with each weapon in each level. But with Octo Expansion, we didn't really have a hero weapon, and that's the direction that this story mode is going. So there's basically 3 different difficulties, because they'll give you a weapon that they think is probably the easiest to beat for this mission. But if you want to really challenge yourself, you'll have to go to the 3rd weapon and try to beat it that way. So I'm not sure what they're going to do.
I kind of see why they would, do another introduction to the series. It's been what, 5 years since Splatoon 2. The player base has increased exponentially since Splatoon 2 came out. We're over at 110 million, and a lot of the player base was probably, I don't know, maybe I want to say too young to experience it, because maybe 5 years, that's a long time.
Sure.
You could, like, people age pretty quickly.
They do age. That is
no
true.
I'm just saying that, like, so from, like, if you got a, like, my nephew has a Switch and he's only 5.
Yeah,
right.
Now he's 10.
And now, like, when the new Splatoon comes out, he's 10 and probably old enough to actually play this game. So I understand that they want to market it to new people. It's just not for the people that have already played either 1 or 2.
Do you think you would feel the same if they had introduced new modes today?
Oh, I would be stoked if they had some reveal, but they didn't. So
yeah.
And the only this didn't come out of the treehouse, but, like, the stuff coming out for Splatoon 3 about the modes, and, like, we just found out that the card game is not going to be online at launch.
Well, for 6 months, right?
Is that how long it is?
No, it's going to be 3 months. Or, well, they didn't say. I mean, we're assuming that that's going to be the catalog update, but maybe it will be sooner than that. Maybe it will be like a month. I think that they're just wanting people to get used to playing this card game that we've never played before, and then bring in actual people, and you can play them that way. I mean, even if all of this isn't really new for veterans, it still kind of will be. I mean, when you look at the treehouse and they did show off the maps are a lot bigger than what they were in Splatoon 1 or 2. And so in that sense, like, we are going to be relearning the game, because we're going to have to learn how these maps work. We're going to have to learn how the specials work, and the new weapons as well. So it probably is more of the same of what we've had in the past, but at the same time, we are going to be relearning with everybody else. I mean, there's also the squid roll. That's really cool. And the way that you're able to change in direction like that, and so quickly too, like, that is, they showed off in the treehouse that there could be a bomb right next to you, and you can easily just back out of that if you're quick enough, and kind of deflect the ink from the bomb. So it's probably not marketed well for veterans, but for those that are trying it out for the first time, I think they're doing a good job.
Well, hearing stuff like the roll and whatnot, that increases skill gap, right? Which I think is I think is a good thing. That's going to allow skilled players to kind of let that cream rise to the top. You know what I mean? If you're gonna put the time in, and people get crazy good at this game, like, it's wild, and especially that people go for, like, the rank X or whatever, and I'm just like, you have to play by yourself, like. Like, that's, it's
with
like,
no voice chat.
You're totally relying on random strangers to help you climb that.
Yeah, to push the objective, right? And so that, definitely some strange choices with Splatoon. But I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty excited. I'm in a weird place just with gaming right now, where I'm just like, I can barely like, we just played Halo, and Nate, who's in chat right now, was like, when did your Spartan change? Did you actually turn on your Xbox? I'm like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. So, but I mean, I'm hoping that, like, maybe Splatoon will get me excited, get me wanting to game some more. I know like right now we just had such nice weather and stuff. I just feel like I don't know. I'm in a little bit of a funk with gaming, but um looking at all the Splatoon stuff coming out, the Switch, the controller, all this, like the amiibo, everything, like I feel like Nintendo's like this is kind of their big game for this for potentially for this holiday, right? Like we really don't think we don't know of anything else. And so hopefully this next weekend gets a lot of people pumped. I'm excited that this is the way they decided to do this. I mean, this has got to be somewhat of a beta, right? Like this is how they're testing, where we get 12 hours straight. Let's just melt those servers and hopefully it runs smooth. I imagine it will, because it's the third game in the series, right? So,
and it's running on a new server too.
Yeah, I can't wait. Because there were like the netcode in Splatoon 2, definitely not great. There were times that it was like I just saw like 17 hit markers and then I popped just like that, and I'm like, there's no way. What was that person seeing on their end? You know what I mean? Like it was it's like in Mario Kart when you see somebody get hit with a shell and they lose coins but they don't slow down because you never actually hit them. It's just netcode is just jacked up. So
I think the one thing that we really haven't talked about too much is like how great this game looks. Like it's really detailed, and they showed off the test range, and like I know it's a testing range, but it does look really cool. It looks like a place that I would want to go and kind of explore, and like if I was there myself. And the water in the game, they showed off a little bit of the water, and that was like, oh, Nintendo has ray tracing now? What?
Wait,
Obviously,
are you the water guy from Miiverse?
I wasn't trying to, say
their waters
anything.
always look good. Like look at the
beautiful
water
water.
in
It is a beautiful water.
Paper Mario. That was some good looking
True.
water.
Oh, and the origami
Yeah.
king.
Mhm.
Oh my god, yeah, that would looked so good.
But I know what you're talking about with the so that like the ray, I don't know, the ray tracing effect was in that bow level
Yeah.
where that they showed off, and it was a inverted city above them,
Yeah.
which like that seemed really cool. But they like the guy was like, I can't really show you because I'm trying to beat the level, so we didn't get to see that much of it. But you could see it in the reflection.
That was
it
just fancy Nintendo talk. Like, I'm not going to show you this.
Oh, okay. That is one pet peeve that I have when they go between modes. Like they don't show they don't show the menus, and it's like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
don't want to spoil, dude. Spoiler alert. I want to.
Yeah, I mean, like that's
I want to see these menus.
That's also part of it. Like if you have walked around Splatsville, which you can now do, it's huge. I mean, it's way bigger than I thought it was going to be, and it's like they didn't really show that in the direct. Like they did show what was going to be in Splatsville, but we didn't really get to explore how big the area is. And I do think that there's probably possibilities of them updating that area with some new shops or some new things that we can do. It's surprising. They had a tweet a while back that was like, everything is bigger in Splatsville, and they're talking about like their special weapons and the area itself and the maps. And I think that they're trying to go bigger and better with this game.
And it looks it really does. It looks. I know there's been a lot of talk about like, oh, it's just 2.5 or whatever. And I mean,
did he just double snipe there?
Mm-hmm.
The argument just doesn't hold up when you think about games like Call of Duty and Madden. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, I mean, I get it. Those are yearly games, and this has had a 5 years. But like, give me multiplayer. Give me stuff to level up, rank up. I'm gonna be good. Like, I don't have to worry about Splatoon being fun. Is it going to be more of the same? Sure. Is that going to potentially mess with the long tail? Maybe. But I know I'll get my $60 worth out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I look back at Kirby and the Forgotten Land and that demo. Like, they didn't give us the build of the release of that game. They gave us
it was level selection, and then you didn't get the overworld. You didn't get
you didn't get that cool theme song in the beginning. Like that was awesome when I got to play that for the first time. So I do think that there's probably some surprises along the way, and we just have to wait.
I do wonder what kind of Splatfest we're going to see. What kind of we're going to see more Transformers. We're going to see what are we going to Ninja Turtles, right? Like, I know Ninja Turtles get Johnny to play games that he doesn't usually touch. Isn't that right, Johnny?
Yeah, Knockout City is going to have a Ninja Turtle event. I don't want to bring up collabs again because I know how bad Cheesy hates them, but I made a beautiful imaged. It was a Super Saiyan squid. It was amazing.
It looked real good. It's hanging up on my
legit. It looked like it was
right
it was an actual leak. Like it came from the game files.
Yeah,
because they were going to have a Dragon Ball event.
Who can say?
I mean, I hope they do. I hope Nintendo leads into really leans into some of this stuff, and that it can become a thing. I mean, I remember wanting to buy the first game when they were like talking about the Transformers, and I was like, oh, I would totally be on the Autobot side for this, but I didn't have Splatoon 1 at the time. I just remember listening to podcasts and hearing them talk about it. So we got a super chat.
Keep the shirts. Like,
yes.
Have those collaboration shirts like the Pokemon one and Transformers and Ninja Turtles. But
so we got a super chat.
Who framed those chairs that they were sitting in? Because who wants to be shot from the knee up? The treehouse people were sitting in chairs, and the picture in the camera frame was knee to just above your head. It seems awkward, but
All right, one more time, Josh.
Here's the super chat from Servant117 over on YouTube. It says $4.90. It's we're missing the most important question here. I almost went full Anchorman. We're missing the most important question. How many copies of Splatoon 3 does Josh buy but not play, either out of impatience or forgetfulness?
I remember share play.
I mean, I'm buying 2. So share play does not work for online games, though.
It does.
I tried to do it with Kirby Dream Buffet, and I made my kid's Switch back to my primary Switch.
Yeah.
They logged in on the kid's account, one of the kids' accounts, and I logged in on my OLED with my account.
Yeah.
So I was able to play it, and we couldn't at least do ad hoc local.
You can't do ad hoc because you're not online at that point.
Oh, that game is stupid.
That's why, that's like what happened on Animal Crossing. Like you can't play locally. You can only do online because the moment you do local,
we didn't try online.
The moment you do local, it kicks you offline, and then your game can no longer. They can't check the rights or whatever, the licensing. So
Nintendo.
That's why, like when you take your Switch, that's no longer the home Switch. Unless the game is physically in all your digital stuff, you have to sign in for.
I need to switch it back to. Yeah.
Well, or if you have your hotspot, you just turn it on for a second. Once it registers,
can't do that on an airplane or anything, though.
Well, just have it ready before you get on. You'll be good.
Remember, like when they actually allowed you to share games on the DS and 3DS.
Yeah.
Those were
or locally, like you could play like is it Mario Kart? Is it no?
Mario
which one
Kart
on
was one of them? Yeah.
You Mario Party, I think.
Mario Party, Mario Kart, like Clubhouse games. Like there was quite a few. There's quite a few. So
bring that back. Stop being greedy.
The other thing, like my niece and nephew came over this week, and they love playing Forza when they come over. I don't know why. They have an Xbox Game Pass at home, and I'm like, you guys can play this. They're like, no, we can't. I'm like, you just have to download it. Like it's
they
there.
Like the car porn.
I guess. So, but what was interesting, they're like, oh, we want to play Forza 5. I'm like, okay, update, 20 gig update. It's like an hour and a half to update.
You have fiber.
Well, it's the old Xbox on Wi-Fi.
It also was writing not to an SSD then too.
Yeah. So that was like, okay, well, that's not working. So then Then I'm like, okay, try 4. Horizon 4. Nope, it had an update. Halo, it had an update. And then I'm like, all right, guys, let's just try Turtles on cloud. Pick that. Well, then when you go on cloud, it doesn't update anything. So they were like, so we played for a little while and then nothing was updating.
You
It's
have
just,
Turtles on Switch. You could have just put it on.
well, no, we ended up, I let them play Strikers, which
Someone has to play it.
So
They like quadrupled the player base.
here's the thing, like they just had a good time, right? Like for their age
How
group.
dare they have a good time playing a video game?
But like they didn't care that it was like
Stop
lacking
having
content or anything like that. They were just like, yo, this is crazy. They're kicking each other and throwing items at each other. And then like I think my Switch is kind of like behind my Xbox a little bit in my entertainment center. So I think there was a little bit of some like desyncing going on with my niece's controller. She's like, it's not passing. I'm like, let me see it. Well, I think where I was sitting had a little bit better angle, so it would work just fine. Then I'd give her the controller back, and she's like, it's not working. So, but yeah,
I don't think anybody says that game is not fun to play.
Right. Yeah, agreed.
It's just there's no reason.
No
to play.
reason to. Yeah. Fun is the only reason. Fun is the
fun
only reason
is
to have.
not a reason.
Yeah, fun's
okay?
not a good reason. Fun's a terrible reason to play.
No
games.
longer in 2022 to play a game for fun. Not good enough. Do not make your games fun. Make them loaded with content that we can pay extra for. Then we are happy.
That is the, the thing that's causing Nintendo issues. Well, I guess they're not really having issues. I have issues with Nintendo because they're not giving me collaborations.
And here's Nintendo playing their smallest violin for you.
They're like in their vat of money.
Yeah.
That they still receive from me, so they don't care.
I mean, I think it's probably the same thing with Dream Buffet, right? Like kids are probably loving that game.
They got their money.
It's charming. They're just rolling around as a little ball.
I think I know why they didn't make it free to play, because they knew they would make more money charging $15.
Probably, but again,
less people to buy it.
Not going free to play, and we've had this conversation. Like they're just not going to.
They've done it with other Kirby games.
They've done it with Pokemon, and they've had good success with Pokemon, and they're charging even more for the brand new Pokemon.
So, the worst thing that Nintendo's done this year, right?
Oh, no.
Is not celebrate Mario Kart's 30th anniversary. What is up with this?
I mean,
Kirby got more support than Mario Kart.
Kirby got more love than Mario Kart. Like
we get
Mario Kart Game & Watch.
Where
is the Game & Watch?
Wow, you guys are being harsh.
Where is Mario Kart 35? Where 35 of us race to see, and if you're last, you get eliminated.
And then they take it away at the end of the year.
Mario Kart is getting DLC. Like, yeah, it's a
You see that mini Splat Junior? Can we get one of those?
I saw that sitting on the desk.
Yeah, you know what you can't see is where to pre-order these Switches that we're watching right now.
I'm okay with that, actually. There's no pre-order, and they're not really advertising it.
I don't care. I want that Splattershot Junior.
That we have like a better chance of waiting. I'm gonna wake up early tomorrow just in case, and
I'm going to Target.
Head over to Best Buy.
You can sleep in a little bit. Best Buy doesn't open until like 10 a.m.
Yeah, 10 or 11, right? So
I'm going to Target because it opens at 8. So I was going to see if they had any.
I think my Target's 7, so I'll be there. I'll be messaging you guys like, I got 4 Switches. You guys ready?
So we talked all about Splatoon, and then Josh derails us with Mario Kart. But before we get off of Splatoon, we got to say who we're picking for the Splatfest.
Crawler, go.
I'm going with Big Man, I think. Team Scissors.
Johnny, go.
Rock.
Cheesy, go.
Scissors. And I really didn't have a preference in this Splatfest. I even told my wife, I was like, I don't know who I'm going to choose. And she's like, well, you better go with Big Man. And, I like to make my wife happy. So it's Team Scissors.
let's be honest. Do we really think I'm going to play and choose?
Oh, come on, man.
Play.
Well, I feel like I have to choose rock just so that I don't know. We did not.
Rock
We did
beat
not.
scissors. Rock
did
beat
not-
scissors.
I understand, but if I don't know.
Let's be honest, it's a really weird theme. But I did learn the reason why this theme is happening is August 27th is National Rock, Paper, Scissors Day.
We
Like,
need to stop making
in real
national
life.
days of just random crap.
Yeah.
There's a
I-
lot of national.
They have like a
days.
championship. I don't know if it's like on ESPN2 or something, but
And
like,
the
I saw
Ocho.
somebody
The
say-
the
Ocho.
Ocho, yeah, there you go.
I saw somebody say, "Where's Lizard Spock? Where's the Lizard Spock?"
Rock,
teams?"
paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. Yeah.
Look,
That's
the
funny.
internet hates Big Bang Theory. Let's be honest.
Is and that's probably copyrighted
Copyrighted
to
yeah.
them.
Yeah, and HBO doesn't like any of their stuff right now. So
Maybe
Papa Warner
Nintendo can
Brothers.
buy them. You know.
from the YouTube chat, Japan being so confused. they don't play a lot of rock paper scissors over there apparently.
there could be some fun Splatfest though.
Well, we pick the region. Like you pick an American
Yeah,
Splatfest.
make sure you choose the right region.
But
Mhm.
is it the same everywhere?
Yeah, it's a worldwide.
I guess
Yeah.
I have a European account and a Japanese account, so I guess I could log in on those and see what's up.
And what's cool about that is even if you do have a European account, it will be like, hey, we I guess this wouldn't really be the same, but they'll say like, hey, we noticed that you have a European account. Do you want this game to be in English? Which it would be, this is a bad example, but they give you the option, and that's kind of nice.
Not all of Europe speaks English.
I guess that's true, yeah.
Spanish and Dutch and German and
Wow.
So then I was
American education really showing there, Cheesy.
Oh, dude, let's talk about the education system because I was in the No Kid Left Behind, which that just made me even more behind, So like I'm fully aware that I am not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Street smarts, all right? Street
Yeah.
smarts.
Yeah,
Street
exactly.
Here we go.
But speaking of anniversaries, do we know what today's the 25th anniversary of?
Doom, 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 doom,
Oh,
doom.
is it?
Odd job, slappers only. Let's go right now. Let's go. Come on. Oh wait, we can't. We can't.
Yeah.
We can't. No.
Where is that anniversary collection?
Where's GoldenEye? GoldenEye could have saved this year.
So the pause music is like really going around a lot on TikTok, or it
Oh,
has been for like a year now.
Yeah.
And somebody made a TikTok that was like forever for whoever made the pause music, and they're getting their royalty check for the first time in 23 years. And Grant Kirkhope was like, "Oh, I wish, but no, that is not how it works at all." Like,
Yeah,
I don't see
paid
any
up
of that.
front.
move.
whoever owns that music just is not
Yeah.
the composer.
Yeah. Would that be MGM? Don't they own Bond?
Either MGM owns it outright or Xbox might own it now. I don't know because I don't know if Rare once they produced it owned it. I don't know. But video game companies license music, so that probably is MGM.
We got a comment that I think we should talk about. Someone said Nintendo is very slow on games now. And I guess what do they mean by that?
They're slow on games that they like.
They're slow on games that aren't niche.
Johnny, it's
Wait, no,
interesting.
they're
It's
yeah,
interesting
exactly.
that you said that because you have been complaining all year. Where are the games?
I'm not
Where are
saying I'm not. I'm not saying this isn't my feelings as well. But I mean, Nintendo has the most games right now out of all the companies.
Well, they have a
Yeah,
few
it
ready to go
has-
too. I mean,
but
they
only-
have
only for, like-
Advance Wars is ready to go, but I mean, I understand why they're not doing what they're doing with that. We're what a month
Mario
and a half
plus
out from
Rabbids.
Bayonetta. I mean, Bayonetta's coming out soon, but that again is a
Niche,
niche
that's niche.
title.
Mario plus Mario plus Rabbids.
Mario plus
is,
Rabbids
is October niche. Yep.
You guys, we gotta be on best
Fire Emblem.
behavior. These
Niche.
videos are starting to. The last one
Can
did
we-
well.
all right, can we-
It's for niche audiences, though, Josh.
We need to have a
gotta be-
debate though right now because everyone says that 2017 was like the best year. But
It was. It is.
Was it?
Yes.
Johnny, you're always the first one to say that Breath of the Wild is a port.
No, I'm not.
That's a meme.
Breath
That's
of
a
the Wild.
meme.
I always say Breath of the Wild is the greatest game ever made. That's what I always say. And then you have Splatoon 2 on top of that. You
But
have
people didn't
Mario
Mario
like Splatoon
Odyssey
2.
on top
People-
of that.
Well, hold on. Let's say Splatoon 2 was being compared to Splatoon 1.5. So people weren't really happy with that. ARMS came out. They weren't really happy with that. They liked the idea of it, but it didn't stick around. 1-2 Switch, everyone loved that game.
Should have been a pack in.
But you have Breath of the Wild and Odyssey in the same year.
And that's all
There's
that
no
needs
other-
to make a great year.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So all of the games that are coming out year after year, all you need are 2 good games, and that is what makes it a good year.
Two phenomenal games, like 2 of the best games ever made. Yeah,
I mean-
I would say so.
I mean, Breath of the Wild is easily 100 hours, and Odyssey was like 20, 25 like really great hours. I haven't gone back to it. There's more to do after the fact as well with Odyssey. But
yeah, I know
I
I'm,
don't know
I'm
what- I don't know what
I'm
year
speaking to
would
the
be
wrong
better.
crowd here, except
I
for
don't know what
Johnny.
year would be better. What year is better?
Xenoblade 2 was that year too, yeah.
Hey, real quick, we got a super chat from Servant again. Says, didn't Nate say GoldenEye was happening today? Nate said it's Russia's fault. So there you go. that is also true. Cryptic said Xenoblade 2 also.
December that year.
Yeah. I think
honestly-
one of
There
the
was a game
things
a month. There was a game a month, wasn't
And
there?
Mario Kart 8, I mean, coming out on Switch did wonders for Mario Kart 8. I mean,
it did. How many times did we say last year, end of last year, that we anticipated this year with Breath of the Wild coming out, that maybe a potential new Mario game, a new Mario Kart game being 30th anniversary. Like there was a lot of expectations, probably
Splatoon.
because of people like us setting up those expectations for everybody. Sorry, fam. And
it's like what happens before every direct.
right.
If Breath of the Wild 2 came out this year, it would be a different tune.
because of one game.
Because people
And
would be
Pokemon
occupied
New
playing it,
Generation.
or like it'd be in the zeitgeist. I think
Okay, but that's what I'm saying is I do think that this year has been a really good year. Arceus.
Not better than 2017. No way.
How many hours do people put into Arceus?
2.
Yeah,
I
well, I know
I
you-
put
could
100 in. I put 100
Hold on,
in.
I'll tell you.
A lot of
I'm
people.
saying
love
Arceus is great. I love Arceus.
And then
But
we
it's
went
not
to
Breath of the Wild great.
I'm not saying that it's
Kirby
as
isn't that
compared-
great. Like that's okay.
No,
it's
but
5
when you
hours.
think about how we went from Arceus to Kirby, that was pretty amazing. Kirby was a great game.
I haven't played Arceus
Oh
recently
my
enough
God.
for.
It was
for-
good.
I haven't played
but
Arceus
5
recently
hours.
enough for my Switch to tell me how much I've played of it.
I'm not saying that these games are as like they're not comparatively good as Breath of the Wild, but when you look at the release schedule, it's been a pretty good year.
All right,
And
all right,
and
so
just
you
like
also
you
have-
said, that they're not games that you want to play. There's
I played
games
Kirby. I played Kirby. I played Arceus.
Wait,
They're
because they're
nowhere
niche.
near as good as Breath of the Wild and Odyssey. Nowhere near as good as them.
So just 2
And
games.
the
make it a
Nintendo
good year.
Switch came out in 2017.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
And 1-2 Switch launched with it.
Mm-hmm.
And Bomberman Zero.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever, Bomberman R.
I mean, I think Pokemon in November is going to help.
Yeah.
It's going to
Pokemon
help
games
the
in 1
memory
year.
of this year. I think a little bit. I think
I don't know. Those hats look weird.
Hey,
The
I think
hat?
another factor is the first 3 years, I would say the Switch and indie games were kind of like, there was a lot of hype around Celeste, Golf Story, Floor Kids, just to name a few, like indie games were really coming into their own on the Switch. It was becoming the indie machine, right? We haven't had an indie direct that we've really been excited about for quite some time.
That was our E3 event this year, so be happy.
I'm happy. I'm good. You know, I mean, Jeezy, I hear what you're saying. Fire Emblem, DLC for Monster Hunter, right? Alive.
And I know we don't want to say it, but we did get Strikers, and we did get Switch.
That's not
Sports.
a good game, though. I would not put that in the
I'm
I would not put that in the conversation.
He's not-
making
but I'm
a
not-
good year.
He's just talking about releases, though.
Thank you, Crawler. Yeah, I'm not saying that
quantity
it was,
over quality, I guess, huh?
Hey, don't forget that the Pokemon Cafe is still going strong.
Oh, and Dream Buffet. How could we forget about Kirby Dream Buffet?
It's true.
I'm going to take this back about how long we've been 45 minutes or so, Johnny. Do you remember what you said right before Josh hit the button? I'm going to try to be positive tonight.
Well, I am positive. 2017 was the best year for the Switch, at least.
I mean, it had a phenomenal having Breath of the
Didn't
Wild.
Skyrim come out that year for Switch?
Skyrim
also?
came out that year for Switch too. Yeah.
There's no Skyrim this year. There's no Skyrim. There's No Man's Sky. You know, that's coming out.
Yeah, but that's.
But now everything,
how well
all
is
the
that?
third parties
How well
feel
is that
so
going to?
old.
As I say, and
Yeah.
I'm not. Everyone's not jazzed on third parties being on Switch anymore.
Everybody saying online was free. I don't know if that's a good thing. I mean, they didn't really improve online, so I guess they just took our money and threw it in the fire.
Wave Race came out this year.
Oh yeah, the NSO stuff. Puzzle League.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I do think, because like even Nate is saying 2019 was good. Luigi's Mansion, Mario Maker, Astral Chain, Ring Fit, Ultimate Alliance. Like it does seem like Nintendo, as much as like we do, or the internet complains about how they're not putting out games, it's just games that you don't want to play. But like when you really do look at their release schedule, it's usually a pretty good year. Like 2018, they had Smash, and that already, yeah. I mean, that's
I would say
already a done
2018
deal.
is probably the second best year
Because of Smash, just
because of
alone.
Smash, yeah.
what about
And then
Animal
2020
Crossing?
with Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
Like Cryptic
2020.
says Animal Crossing was the best year, changed the world.
It's true.
No, it didn't change the world. The world found it because they were stuck at
Because
home.
the world was changed.
All right, yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I understand, but like people, as much as everybody hates to say that they only make Mario and Zelda games,
They do those well.
people want those games. Like, I want a new Mario game. I want a new Zelda game. I would much rather have a new Mario or Zelda over, Splatoon or Kirby or, what we got this year. And I speak for everybody.
Right, yeah.
I mean, the games, a lot of great games come out, but like looking at that, was it 2019 with Mario Maker? Like Mario Maker has a Nintendo stain on it because of how poorly the online performed. Like they have great stuff come out, and I mean, Strikers is a great game. If they had support for it and they'd let it maybe cook a little bit longer, put a more fully fleshed out like campaign, like single player mode. And I haven't even played the online stuff because they seem to not care about it with these 1 week seasons and stuff. But Nintendo just keeps getting in their own way, I feel like, and they don't
Mario
care.
Maker didn't sell that well either.
It didn't, because people saw it as a reskin of it was a Wii U game.
It didn't sell well because they didn't allow us to use our 2DSs as a controller to make games while it was on the screen Well, I have my stylus, right?
That's
That's
what, yeah,
all-
they should have done that.
It was
It would have just download a little patch, sync it to your Switch, and there you go.
When was
There you
Captain Toad port? That's the best year.
Captain Toad was
Captain Toad was
Captain Toad was.
awesome.
Where's
What
that
was that?
sequel?
If Zelda comes out this year, if the port from the Wii U of either Wind Waker or Twilight Princess, or the rumor was both, does this year, how does it rank for you, Johnny?
It would be one of the better years, but I still think that first initial year, you can't top Breath of the Wild and Odyssey in 1 year. It's just
They'd also find a way to mess it up, like
undoable.
they did the 3D Mario collection.
yeah, like
Coming
They'll stop
off
selling
of
it.
the Wii U, Nintendo was like, here, this is it. This is it. I mean, they had to essentially prove the Switch's
They did.
value and they were like, we're not waiting on anybody else. We're doing it all ourselves. And they pulled out all the heaviest hitters.
And they also were probably sitting on software because the Wii U was so poor. Like it was not
I
received
think
well.
they're sitting on stuff now
Mhm.
for the next
Iteration.
whatever the console
Mario
is.
Kart 9 has got to be just getting polished, I would assume.
Pikmin 4. Where the heck is that game?
He's busy making a movie, man. Let him make a movie. That's probably why we're not getting a
You know what we did? Here's some happy news. Sakurai has a YouTube channel,
Yeah, I haven't watched that yet, but
and
Yeah.
he's super famous already. We've been on YouTube for years, and we can't get anywhere near the amount of followers.
you just got to
he
make
has.
one of the best platform fighters to ever be made 5 times over. I mean,
and play it with 2 controllers at the same time.
And have a big Twitter following.
He
Oh,
plays
yeah,
it with
4,
4
yeah.
controllers.
I don't know. I mean, like, do you guys think that we're getting a direct in September? I mean, we're rolling up on it.
When's the last one we had? April?
No, February.
Yeah.
Wasn't
February.
the last main one February?
Yeah.
How
I don't think so.
How did we hear about the booster courses? Was
it was
it
February?
Was it in that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Strikers, the booster course,
I mean,
Splatoon, I think.
there's got to be something. I mean,
We just had a direct 2 weeks ago
what was that?
or a week ago.
I mean, he's not
The
wrong. Yeah, we
Splatoon
had the
Direct.
Splatoon 3 direct.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like directs are something
Of the past.
they created something special,
And everybody copied
When
them,
they
and now
first
they're
started
moving
them.
on to something else.
and like everybody was hyped for him. Now, like they haven't done it. Like the people were excited to know what next Smash character is, or what's the one last thing. Even if the directs were never extremely strong the whole time,
No,
but there was always that one last thing.
But it's better than a tweet coming out with the 8 courses that are coming out in Mario Kart. I mean, the innovation that they had with the directs, it was a hype cycle, and the tweets at 8 a.m. or 6 a.m. on a Tuesday or a Wednesday is lackluster. And I feel like, I mean, Twitter does notice it and talks about it, and they probably trend, but it's not at the same level that a tweet on a Monday saying tune in on Wednesday for this, and it's going to be 20 to 25 minutes of content. I'm all right with smaller things being lumped in with the larger things, because that helps. It's a rising tide rises, whatever it is, rises all ships. Whatever.
That old famous
Rising
saying.
Tide.
Yeah.
That super famous one.
I just remember the Banjo-Kazooie reaction in the Nintendo store, and
Yeah.
people went wild.
Mhm.
Like that's what Nintendo Directs are.
And I agree with that, but I do think that some things can be a tweet, like the Bayonetta 3 release date. Like, we already knew that game was coming out. You don't need to have it in the direct and say, like, this is the release date. Just put that in a tweet. Like, if they do a September direct, I'm hoping that it's games that we don't know about. Because, again, we've talked about it before. The only game that we know of that we hope is coming out in 2023 is Breath of the Wild 2. That's it.
Silksong.
Well,
Silksong?
yeah, hopefully.
They dropped the ball on that, man. They didn't get it. They could have had it for their indie direct.
Yeah, Xbox highlighted
Xbox
it.
took it.
And it's still not clear if that's one of the exceptions to their coming out before next E3 rule.
But
it was playable at 2019 E3.
It was. Yep.
Yeah.
Where's Metroid Prime 4? That was announced 4 years ago.
Yeah.
They had to remake that game, man. Give them a second.
We just had
where's the Prime trilogy though? Where's the Prime?
They didn't show anything at Gamescom.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is, like, we just had Gamescom, and that's a 2-hour event. Same with the Game Awards. We know that it's going to be probably 2 hours, 3 hours long on December 8th this year. And I prefer a direct that is 20 to 30 minutes of games that are going to be announced. And I always feel like I'm wanting more of the direct. I'm like, oh man, I wish that was longer and that they would just keep going. Honestly, that is enough time, because after 2 hours of game reveals that kind of start to look the same, and it doesn't really do any, just like, they want to bring the developers on and talk about it, but I think it was Cryptic who was talking about how they need to have their own, or maybe it was somebody else, needs to have their own segment or their own, like, presentation just for developers to talk about their game.
But Keeley has the statistics on it, and viewership drops in that kind. He's been fine tuning it a little bit, and the ads appear to be less ad like anymore, and he's got to fund it somehow. And it's I thought it was good. What was it? Was it last year or 2 years ago where all three heads of was that Reggie's last year, maybe?
Yeah, Reggie was there. So
yeah, where Phil, Reggie, and who's U.S. PlayStation president? I don't even know what his name is.
We'll just go with Jim Ryan. I think he's tied to him somehow.
Yeah, close enough.
But yeah, they all came out at the very beginning. Like,
I mean, they could still cut some things. Like, I was watching the Game Awards, and they gave, or not the Game Awards, the
Opening Night Live.
Yeah, Opening Night Live. They gave awards out during the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't understand why they did that. Like, I just want to see, trailers, talk to the devs a little bit, and
more stuff from the guy that made a way out.
Right. Yeah. I think if you kind of take a bird's eye view from everything, it really feels like Nintendo. I mean, if you think about how we started this show today, and I'm like, what topics do we have, you guys? And everybody was kind of like, man, the news is kind of slow. And what does that mean Nintendo is doing? It means they're channeling all of the conversation towards Splatoon right now.
They're listening to us, and they're like, all right, they're gauging our feelings on it, and then they'll, in the next direct, they're going to show a new Mario, and they're going to show more Breath of the Wild 2 for me specifically.
I don't know if we see another like main direct until E3 next year.
Wow.
Wait, no, Breath of the Wild is coming out before E3.
I know, but I mean like a full on. I think the directs have gone the way of the dodo. I think Nintendo is like, look, we're going to put out some tweets and we're going to do these Treehouse Lives.
Centric.
This was out of the. When have we seen a Treehouse Live other than during E3? Right, in years past, now
they did one for Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah,
for Age of Calamity.
There were a few weird ones that were from the Redmond office that were different.
Yeah, and so, but it's new, right? It's new. Also, we're getting rated. What's up, everybody? I'm thinking, based on the name that it's, I want to say, is it the Nintendads? Maybe. If not, still go check out the Nintendads podcast, and it's a good time. It's a good time. So, but I mean, they said we're changing things up, right? And if you think about the current like atmosphere of gaming and the way it's going, attention is that's all business is anymore. It's getting everybody's attention. And if you got all these games overlapping each other coming out of the direct, then oh, here we go. We got the All In podcast and the Nintendo Pals. You guys go check them out. All In podcast and the Nintendo Pals. We love all you guys. Thank you so much for coming by the stream. We appreciate it. But I think it has to boil down with Nintendo just saying, hey, we're going to really focus on our single games or our games like one at a time and not let anything overshadow them. It sucks for us because we're so used to the directs and 3 or 4 a year, and
they're cooking multiple pots and pans on the stove at the same time.
Yeah, and now it's like I'm also of the mind that I think Nintendo was anticipating third party stepping up a little bit more by now with as many Switches are in the wild. And I mean, you've got Mario plus Rabbids coming out.
True.
And so, Square is doing a ton.
Square's doing a lot. We're seeing stuff with.
We got FIFA Legacy Edition.
God, don't promote that. But
where's bad in that? That's what I want.
But you have Capcom, you
Platinum
have
is another.
Capcom, Ubisoft, Square. Like when stuff is third party made for the Switch, that is received well. It's the dumbed down port of
Dooms,
something.
Apex,
like Hogwarts Legacy. Is anybody gonna buy that on Switch?
That's not even a cloud version.
Like, what is that gonna look like? I think that game supports crossplay. I think, right? I didn't watch their direct. They're selling a collector's They're selling their collector's edition for $300. So it's got a magic floating wand. Yeah,
talking about flexing brand muscles.
But like that, if you have the means, I guess we're speaking, yelling into a cloud. If you have the ability to play it somewhere else, everyone's going to play it somewhere else. I think that's not a game that people are looking to play on the Switch if you have a PC, an Xbox, or a PlayStation available to you.
If you're buying the $300 edition of Hogwarts on the Switch, please take that money and buy a Series S. So you can
I mean, maybe they saw the price hike of the PlayStation 5 and they're like, you know what?
Everywhere outside of the US.
The Hogwarts instead.
Do you think that's them quietly trying just to raise that and then they're gonna just slip it into the US market here?
Oh, yeah, it's coming to the US, there's no doubt.
What they increase it? $50 for the that's crazy.
Their plan is to raise the price and then during their next PlayStation Direct say they're having a price cut and putting it back to where it was.
Has this ever happened before?
Like the PlayStation is actually available on PS Direct like for a long amount of time. It might even still be. Who knows?
Is this the first that ever happened where I know Oculus or I don't know what's the
Meta Quest 2 or whatever is they're going up in price.
That's getting a price increase as well. And that's now the PlayStation.
I think that is the first time. Most of the time, consoles go down in price because components get cheaper. They can make the consoles for less. They start making them for less, and they recoup cost, and then they slash prices to drive up sales again. That's the cycle of which it goes.
They just start way too high, and then they have to give everybody that bought it an ambassador program. You know,
but PS5s have been selling off the shelf, and I think it's a dumb move on their part because I think PlayStations have finally just started to slow down on selling, and now they're increasing the costs.
This is like get a second job situation
is. Yeah.
for them.
They're trying to stop scalpers. That's the goal here.
That's a poor
What?
excuse.
They're just going to increase the price of
I
the
know.
scalper.
I'm just joking. I'm just kidding.
Maybe that extra $50 is going towards more PlayStation movies. You know, because
The
Well,
Destiny movie.
I saw
Yeah.
Horizon is getting a Netflix series.
is it really?
I think
Yeah,
so.
from the Umbrella Academy showrunner or writer, I think, is doing her.
And
Horizon.
we're getting Last of Us. So like
Mhm.
And Bioshock
Sony
was
is
talked
focusing
about today.
on that stuff.
And was there a trailer for Last of Us in
Last
front
of
of
Us,
in front of House of the Dragon or whatever? We're not a PlayStation podcast, but let's
I mean, Nintendo and PlayStation are eerily similar in certain ways.
Because of
like-
being from Japan.
that probably. But like they don't really.
I
They're
think
not very pro consumer.
I think the US PlayStation division has a little more weight than the US Nintendo division in terms of swaying the corporate direction.
We are going to talk more about this price hike over on NPC Wired, which you can pick up from going over to patreon.com/Nintendo Powercast. Thank you guys so much for being here with us live. Remember to check out the All In podcast and the Nintendo Pals, as well as the Nintendads podcast and our Nintendo Dads podcast. And we will see you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.